we know that we have Diablo 4 coming. And a lot of people are getting hyped for Diablo 4. A lot of people are getting hyped for Diablo 4. So the same thing happened with Fallout 76. When the year leading up to Fallout 76, people started really getting interested in Fallout, the series. So I saw it myself with Fallout 76, where everyone started piling into Fallout 4. And on the streams too on Twitch, piling into Fallout 4 to just kind of get that vibe, to get the vibe going, to kind of like mentally prepare for Fallout 76. So what happened? What happened last week? What happened last week? And the week before, you start to really get all these reveals on the beta that's coming up in a couple weeks for Diablo 4. For Diablo 4. So what happened? Everyone's starting to get in this Diablo mode now. And what do you see on Twitch? Most of the PoE streamers are streaming Diablo 3. They're streaming Diablo 3. And I'm like, and I started to think to myself, hey, maybe I should do it too, to kind of get the vibe going for Diablo 4. Maybe I should do it too. And then I thought to myself, Diablo 3 is like 12 frickin' years old. And what am I going to do? Do I really want to go play Diablo 3 again? I put thousands of hours into that game like 10 years ago. It hasn't really changed much.
Hey now.
New seasons? Hey now. Thanks, Sonny. It hasn't changed much. So, I'm just starting to think, and I'm like, okay. We know how Diablo 4 is going to play. Okay? We know a lot of the big features on it. We're going to make a new Demon Hunter. We know that. So I know some of the big features for Diablo 4. I know how Diablo 3 plays. And I'm like, okay. 2 days ago, I'm like, okay, Diablo Immortal's free to play. It's PC beta. Let me just play around with it. It only took a couple hours for me to realize something. And maybe I'm crazy. I think that Diablo Immortal, in some respects, is more like Diablo 4 than Diablo 3 is like Diablo 4. I started playing this game, it only took a few hours to realize. Open world, other players that are not in your party, walking around the map, events that pop up while you're walking around, events that have a beginning and an end that happen on the map. You could solo, because the maps are small, you could solo, or there's people around, people doing it, you can go together. You're even in there doing quests in a zone. There's other people around. You can solo it, or there might be other people. You can party up quickly. I got tons of party requests as I was walking around doing stuff. And there's dungeons, lairs. When you go to the dungeon in this game and lair, interact with it, it's exactly like, to me, it looks like it's exactly what's coming in Diablo 4. So far, I have given you some features in this game that you might think, is he talking about Diablo 4? Is he talking about something else? You come into a lair in this game, which is a dungeon, and it brings up a screen, and it gives you the option. You want Party Finder, it'll ask people in the local area that are trying to come to the same thing or whatever, build a group or go in solo. You go into the dungeon. Once you're in, you won't see other players unless you've built a party. Isn't Diablo 4 going to work the same way? Why? Like, so I started to do this, and I'm like, all these people piling into Diablo 3. Do they think Diablo 3, like, what are the, like, in terms of the big stuff, like, Diablo 3 is going to be nothing like Diablo 4, I think. What I've experienced in this game, to me, seems like it's going to be much more like Diablo 4 in terms of the structure. Open world, other people around, events popping up, dungeons are instanced. So I'm seeing all of that in Diablo Immortal. Now, I don't want to, this is not a review of Diablo Immortal. This is not talking about any pay-to-win stuff or anything like that. It's not talking about how dark the game is going to be, what the themes are, what the stories are, how big the maps are. But some of the tech looks to me like it's going to be kind of the same. Open world, other players running around, events popping up, instance dungeons. So I was thinking to myself, all these people jumping into Diablo 3 saying, hey, you know, I'm thinking, you know, I'm like, in my opinion, I feel like this is more like Diablo 4 to kind of get the vibe going, because it's technically going to play the same way. And I wouldn't be surprised if they actually borrowed some tech, I don't know, from this game, because it's going to play the same kind of way. They borrowed maybe some tech. They proved how this works with Immortal on mobile, and that stuff, a lot of those ideas, and maybe the tech, I don't know, carried over to Diablo 4. So I would never say this publicly, but you know, it's just in the back of my mind. You know, I would never say this publicly. Like, what are you people, all you people doing piling into Diablo 3 for? Maybe this is the game that would be more of a good representation of getting your vibe going and getting prepared for Diablo 4, based on what I just talked about. Open world, other players, events popping up, instance dungeons. Now, I'm not talking about gameplay. Of course, everything's going to be different. The gearing and upgrades and all that is going to be different. It'll be much more in-depth in Diablo 4. But just the general technical structure of how things work. Why would I want to why would I want to jump into Diablo 3 right now? I mean, my brain will literally freeze after one day, because I've just been there like 10 years ago. The game hasn't really changed much. There's some great stuff there, but it's just, you know, it's just like I've just done it like 10 years ago. So to have a new experience, and for me to see that it looks like this just measures up technically better for Diablo 3 prep, if you want to say prep, you know. It's just about trying to catch that vibe. It's just trying to catch that vibe. Well, you said Diablo 4 is overhyped, but I don't know yet, because we got to play it. I got to play it, you know, extensively. But a lot of things get overhyped. Okay, anyone watching this little clip on YouTube? I was recording this for YouTube. I'm just going to, give me your comments and tell me what you think. I don't care if this game is pay to win. That's not the point I'm trying to make. Talking about just how the structure of the game plays. Okay, thanks guys on YouTube, and hope to see you again on future videos and streams. Thank you.